Oh,
Shalom, family. How y'all doing today? Everybody good? We left the door open so it wouldn't be too hot for you. Good dog, we got you. Hey, and good news too, man. We're gonna have that air conditioning sooner than later, so don't even trip. How everybody doing today? How the sisters doing? You guys all right? Everybody good? How my young sisters doing? You guys all right? Good, good, good. All praises, all praises. Brothers looking good, sisters looking good. This is our first live video coming to our new school. So I want to personally just thank everybody for your contributions. Who do you want to personally thank, Doc?
oh
Sister
yeah,
Milka, who else?
yeah. It's a lot of people that participated. I did want to give a special announcement and shout out to the brother Carl in Tennessee. I just kind of wanted to share his testimony. The brother was working Sabbath prior to finding out about the believers of the way. He got the letter, sent it in. Most High bless him. So give the Most High God a hand clap, man. Now the brother got all his Sabbaths off, man. They honored the Sabbath. And he was relatively new at this job. Nevertheless, he had faith and perseverance, and he sent it in and seen what happened, and the Most High blessed him. So I want to just kind of use that as a testimonial to let you know, if you have faith and you honor the Heavenly Father, He will take care of you.
Con. And who else? Sister Milka, you want to?
Oh yeah, Sister Milky. Yeah, we shouted her out. Yeah,
yes,
okay, she always tapped in. She probably in right now. Yeah, the mother of the church. She, we're very fortunate to have a sister like Sister Milker, and she has another sister. I forget her name, but I think this is her biological sister. They real solid in terms of just helping out and understand the aspects of building this nation. We got my brother Shire in Tennessee.
Yeah, I love that brother. Man. Good brother, man.
Man, he always on top of it.
Jemiah.
Man, let me look through it. It's a lot of
we gotta thank the family, because without you guys, especially out of state, a lot of this wouldn't have been able to happen without your donations. Of course, our homebody, they're able to reap the fruits of the labor as us having a school, right? But the people that's out of state, they have to do that with just faith alone. That's just pure faith, donations. We raised over $20,000 just with the family's alms, and that's beautiful, And now look, we get to show the people we got a school now. We was able to get decorations now. We got things for the school, and guess what? Pretty soon we'll be able to travel. We had to travel and touch some of the brothers and sisters that are out of state. We love you guys for your contributions, and first and foremost, you do it for the Lord. So we just want to, just throw out another thank you for those that have given, whatever it was, whether it was $1, $2, $3. A lot of this wouldn't have been able to happen without your faith and without your belief, right? So we just want to thank you, God.
Yeah, so let's run through some names. So we're going to give a special shout out to Watazan Rib, Raya. We're going to give a special shout out to Lob, Pamela Morris, Sheena, Brother Carl.
Is that Tamala Morris?
Who?
You said Tamala Morris?
No, Pamela.
Pamela, yes, that's sister. Yes.
Pamela Morris,
yes.
She always contributing. The brother Andre Bates, always, man, like 2 years in, and he been getting on consistently. Will Cole, Angela Mendoza. Who else?
That's Barack's wife.
Okay. All praises.
Our brother Barack is on live with us right now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Rena. We got my brother Iraq out there, San Bernardino. Let's see, man. Just
Sister Jeanette.
Sister Jeanette. Yeah, that's Milka. That's Sister.
Oh, okay.
Sister Milka. She always. I just wanted to give a special shout out to y'all, brother Chad, brother Carl, Ishmael, Dimitri, Santana.
It's a lot of names, man.
Alicia. Yeah, and the list go on and on, man. We couldn't have did this without the help of the church. So all praises, get the Most High hand.
All praises.
All praises and honor go to the Heavenly Father. We are thankful for the contributions of the nation, man, of building this school.
All praises. So we wanted to first and foremost open up with that, because this is the first, and we just want to get better from here. So, we're gonna have better videos. Pretty soon we're gonna have a better camera setup. So we just want to grow from here, and eventually, we want to do the same thing that we're doing here. We want to be able to go and travel and do it worldwide. All right. So to get to the lesson, the title of the lesson is, you are marvelous, you are phenomenal, incredible, amazing, and fantastic. Who believes that they're phenomenal, amazing, fantastic, marvelous? Let me see your hands. Who believes that they're all of that? If your hands are down, this lesson is for you. So that's good. I'm happy y'all seeing hands down, right? And this lesson was inspired. This lesson was inspired by a couple of things. One of the things that this lesson was inspired by was my beautiful daughter Parag. Okay, she inspired this lesson. I told her, Daddy did this lesson for you, right? But not just for Parag, but also for all my daughters, all right? Because when I look at them, I see them as marvelous, beautiful, right? Fantastic. I see them inspired by was inspired by me and going to work every day. All right. If anybody knows, I go to work for I work for a construction company. Okay, and every day I see the sweat, blood, and tears of these so-called blacks and Latino men doing all of this work. And sometimes I step back and I think to myself, why is it that you can't do this work for yourself? Right? We build in all these big monuments, downtown LA, football stadiums. We're building all of these things. And not only are we building all of these things, but we're fearful of the people we work for in these fields. Not understanding that we make the trade what it is. The intelligent minds. I tell the brothers all the time at my job, look, do you ever step back and look at what you guys are helping to build? Right? But the reason why we don't think of it like that is because we don't think ourselves to be fantastic, to be a great nation of people, right? When you think of a great nation of people, when you deal with Black and Latino people, what do you think about? What do you think about? When you think about Black and Latino people, Sister Linda, what do you think about? When you think of Black and Latino people, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Huh? Hardworking, okay. What about you, Ronazaria? What's the first thing you think? When you think Black and Latino people, what's the first thing you think? Oppressed, okay. In terms of like occupational, right? Brother La, what do you think about? Here, pass this mic around. I wanna get in touch with the audience. Come get this mic, La. What do you think about?
With our people?
Yeah, when you think occupational wise, or just in general, when you think about money and Black and Latino people, what do you think about?
I think about them spending that money.
Okay.
Honestly, they spend it on things.
In terms of work, of how they got the money.
I mean, they're the reason why all this money flows in.
Okay.
They work at they're the ones who flood the businesses.
Let me get more frank with the question. What do you think about when, in terms of, if I want to be a successful Black person, what do you think about? What does a successful Black? Don't think about the Hebrew mind. What does a successful Black person in America look like?
You said, what does he look like?
That's crazy that you don't even know. Good dog, what you think?
Somebody that's looking to work 9 to 5.
9 to 5, okay, we getting there, okay. What else? What are some of the stigmas that we have? Y'all missing? Rapping, and what else? Basketball. Rap and basketball. When you think of a Black person in terms of money, what do you think about? Rap and basketball. Rap and football. Rap and entertainment. Give me some more. Hilarious. He's funny. Hi, you want to laugh at him? He's a comedian. He's some type of form of actor. Right? Only thing that Black and Latino people are known for in America is a rapper or an entertainer. Am I lying? Or a drug dealer, yeah. It's a package deal. That comes with rapper. It's a package deal, right? You get a package deal when you're a rapper, right? Because how many rappers rap about going to school? I'm going to college. On this hot day, we're going to learn. Open our books all day. I gotta sound old to be a rapper like that. How many rappers you see? We loving to learn. We loving to learn. We loving to learn. How many rappers you see that? No. So when you think rapper, what do you think? Drug dealer, gang banger, right? When you think black man in general, the first thing that comes in our minds, right, is those attributes. But is that all that we're worth? Is that all that we're about? Drug dealing? What about our sisters? When you think about the sisters, what do you think? What's the first thing that comes in your mind? Prostitution. Of course, that, for sure. Twerk videos, right? Video vixens. What now the new thing is Instagram models, right? IG models, what else? What TikTok dances, strippers, right? Anytime you think about us as a race of people, it has a negative connotation behind it all the time. This lesson today is to show you we are more than the negativity that is promoted to us on the television screen. You are, give me Deuteronomy 7:6. It's only right if I open with this. Oh yeah, my brother Aishar said, what did he say? OnlyFans. They took that away though, right?
They brought it back.
They folded.
They brought it back, huh?
They brought it back. They was like, "Dang, you see all this money we losing?" You know why they brought it back? Because other people was like, "Okay, we gonna make our own." People started leaving OnlyFans. That's crazy. So OnlyFans has turned into a porn site. Wow. They brought it back for them, right? That's crazy. And it's sad. It's very sad when all our women want to do is be OnlyFans. I'm gonna show you some. For my young sisters here today, Parad, Dea, Maya, what's your name, sweetheart? Promise. I'm gonna show you that there's sisters that they don't tell you about that were inventors. Some of the first inventors. I mean, there's so many of them, I couldn't even list all of them. I had to take the best, I had to go through it and take the best individuals. And not even the best really, but just the ones that stood out to me, like the traffic light, right? Which I know that's one you guys all know, but there's so many things that so-called Black and Latino minds have helped to create in America we get no credit for. You know why? Because we were slaves when they created it. So the patent automatically went to the slave master. See, we weren't always stupid. We had people at 14 years old, 14 years old, without an education, inventing things. See, that's why the white man got smart. He said, man, excuse my language, he said, give them niggas the false reality that they can get a job now so they can stop fighting for equality. Because as long as they fight for equality, they're going to want to be what we are, scientists. They're going to want to be prestigious. So you know what? Give it to them. And you know what? At the same time you give that to them, also give them some little pleasure. So now they don't feel like they're missing out. Because you know when a person feels like they're missing out, what does that make you want to do? Inquire more, right? Anytime you feel like you're missing out, what happens? You want to inquire more. But when you feel like you're not missing out, that inquiry level goes down, doesn't it? It's like, oh, that's going on. So the white man got smart, right? Let's read Deuteronomy 7:6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Who believes this? Who believes we're above all people on the face of the planet? Come. Then why are we limiting ourselves by only being workers? Why are we limiting ourselves in a creative mind? After this lesson is done, you're going to realize how special you are. We did the things that we've done, we did that all in oppression. We were oppressed and got more things. What other nation of people can be oppressed the way we were oppressed and still accomplish the things that we've accomplished in this nation? None. Absolutely none. With limited education. You understand? Read that one more time.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thy art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So let me share my screen. Okay, and for everybody that's online, remember our classes now, our live classes will be at 4:30. Okay. And we're in California, so this will be 4:30 our time. All right. So this is a website. You guys should definitely check it out. If you want to see the website, you guys can look it up on your phone, or you can just listen. I'll give you the website. It's called blackpast.org. Okay. Now on this website, I came across a segment on their website, and it's a segment that says Black Inventors and Inventions, and it goes from different time periods, from 1860, from pre-Civil War all the way to 1961 plus of just Black inventors. And I also pulled up some from my Latino brothers and sisters as well, because you guys are inventors just like we are. Matter of fact, the white man wouldn't even had learned how to cultivate this area without our 10 brothers. Farming, cropping, that's all credited to our 10 tribe brothers. When he came over here, they were dying. Matter of fact, if they didn't step in and intervene, right, our 10 tribe brothers with our native brothers, our Latino brothers, you come from the Native Americans, right? If they would have never intervened, guess what? The white man would have died. They shouldn't have never intervened. But we always loving on somebody. We always want to help somebody. And as soon as the white man learned how to survive in this land, he turned on them and killed them. I mean, it's to the point where these were master mathematicians. One day, brothers, we're going to take a trip to Peru. We're going to take a trip to the pyramids that's over there in Mexico. We're going to take a trip over there. You'll see how they built these structures. This is how special your people are. But I'm going to have to do a whole lesson. I've done it before. I might have to do it again when we do a whole lesson just going into just the 10 tribes. Just specifically for the 10 tribes. Just on them alone. All right, but we're gonna get a couple. So the first person that I want to read about, okay. Let's go. Okay, this is Thomas Lee Jennings. Okay, everybody say Thomas Lee Jennings. Come on, say his name.
Thomas Lee.
Say his name. Write his name down. Go look him up. Go research him. He was born in 1791. He died 1856. All right, I'm gonna read this. Thomas L. Jennings. He's a creator. He's a builder. Right. That's why my daughter, she loves to build. She loves to create things and use. She's a problem solver. Right. And that's how a lot of our children are. But how can they succeed in the mental capacity that they have when they have a system telling them that they have ADHD? When we have how can our children, right? How do you diagnose a child with hyper attention disorder, right? That's what it is, right? Hyper. What kid is not hyper? What? So now we're and we'll talk about autism as well. They shoot your kids up with all type of vaccines and get your kids autism. That's a fact that that has been linked to autism. Vaccinations has been linked to autism. If there's any scoffer in the comments, please get them out of there, okay, guys? That's a fact that vaccines have been linked to autism. Medically proven. But then you have an ADHD where they tell you, oh, your kid is too hyper to pay attention in school. We need to put him on some meds. And then to counteract the negative effects with that medicine, we got another medicine for that medicine. And then we got another, we got another medicine to counteract the effects of that medicine. Next thing you know, your kid is on 13 different medicines because he was hyper as a kid. Does that make any sense? You know why they do that? And they do this amongst Black and Latino, right? Communities. They don't do this in white. F you, mom, gonna kill you. They don't give them no drugs and say you got ADHD. They just say, Timmy, come on now. Time out, Timmy. Do they give them drugs? Why do we as Black people drug our kids up? A simple butt whooping will do. Some of this stuff will be solved with a simple butt whooping. Right? But don't kill your child's mind, because I'm gonna show you how great we are as a people, right? Forget the rappers. I want my kids to look up to Thomas L. Jennings. That's who I want my son to look up to. Forget the rappers. Even if you're a good rapper, I'm tired of rappers. I don't care if you're a conscious rapper. I'm tired of rappers. Can we get Thomas L. Jennings was the first Black man to receive a patent. This guy, he was the first Black man to receive a patent. A patent is he gets accredited with his what he created. The patent was awarded on March 3rd, 1821, for his discovery of a process called dry scoring, which was the forerunner of today's modern dry cleaning. How many of y'all ever took clothes to the dry cleaners? Y'all know a Black man can be accredited for every dry cleaner you step in. Y'all didn't even know that, huh? Every dry cleaner that you step in, Thomas L. Jennings has to get credit for that. He was born in New York City in 1791. In his early 20s, he became a tailor, but then opened a dry cleaning business in the city. While running his business, Jennings developed dry scoring. The patent to Jennings generated considerably controversy during this period. Slaves at this time could not patent their own inventions. Their effort was the property of their masters. So the reason why you think a white man created fried chicken is because when the slaves was in the back cooking fried chicken, the white man was like, hey, what's that smell coming out in the back of us in the slave quarters? Let's go see what that is. They took oil. This was unheard of. They took oil and fried the leftover meat in the oil. Slave master said, I've invented this recipe. I need all you slaves to keep making this. And we're going to call this whatever give me a white man name. KFC. See that? We took the scraps. I could do a whole lesson just on soul food alone about how we took the scraps and made it a delicacy, which is still not a delicacy because we ain't supposed to be eating chitlins. I don't know. We've got to be a special people to make pig intestines taste good. And I'm not saying I ever tasted it. I'm just saying for people to eat it the way they eat it. Right? It says at this time, all right, slaves could not patent their own inventions. Their effort was the property of their masters. This regulation dated back to the U.S. patent laws of 1793. The regulation was based on the legal presumption that the master is the owner of the fruits of the labor of the slave, both manual and intellectual. So guess what? If my daughter invented something, she was a slave, that invention belonged to the slave master. Oh, we're sorry for slavery. Then give us what you owe. All of the Black inventions, pay us restitution. That's all they gotta do. But you know what? Now I'm starting to think black people don't need no money. Let me just say it. Black people don't need money. Do not give, matter of fact, white man, do not give us money. We don't need money. Because if you give excuse my language, if you give a nigga money, that might be more damage than good, right? So you know what you can do? Get out of our way. Get the brightest minds of us and give us a community that's ours. Matter of fact, give us our own country. Not even country. Give us our own state. Not the ignorant Negro. I'm talking about the Negroes that's intelligent. Which would be the Hebrew. Give us our own state. Imagine, can you give us our own state? But the white man destroyed us so much, even if he did that, that'd be a mess. Because you got one person Egyptologist, one person that Christian, one person Catholic. So we just need the Lord at the end of the day. And we just gonna bring out this information and influence the young minds that's in this room to be inventors, right? Go ahead, Marcus. You have something to say? Use the mic, because we got people watching.
Now you mentioned about giving black people money. We saw that recently with the whole relief stimulus plan. You know, I can't tell you how many foreign cars I seen driving all around the hood, all that other stuff. People could have took that money and started businesses, so on and so forth, and got themselves out of the 9 to 5 working for Esau. Instead, they went and bought jewelry, clothes, cars, so on and so forth.
See, they couldn't give us that type of liberty. See, you can give an ignorant person money. We're going to see a lot of these brothers and sisters that we're going to read about today. They invented things just based off, they tired of doing things the hard way. So how can I make this easier for me? I'm tired of picking cotton this way. So how can I make this easier for me? Watch, this is Henry Blair. Can we all say Henry Blair? All right, 1807 to 1860. All right, he was born in 1807, died 1860. Henry Blair was an African-American inventor who, in 1834, became only the second black man to receive a United States patent for his mechanical corn planter. Mechanical corn planter. So this was a machine that planted corn. So all of the machines you see today, when you look up farming, they got these machines planting it up. Who's responsible for that? Henry Blair. Watch this. It says, for years, Blair was believed to be the first African American to receive a patent, but it was later discovered that Thomas Jennings received a patent in 1821 for his creation of the dry cleaning process. Blair is most renowned for his inventions of the corn planter and the mechanical cotton planter. Blair's inventions improved the productivity of corn and cotton agriculture. So when y'all see all these machines of agriculture that the white man uses today, where did they get that patent from? Oh, well, if we can do that with corn and cotton, we surely can do that with other crops. Who was responsible? This is the mind of our people. Who's more special than we are? And we did this with no resources. It wasn't like they had a $20 million fund that they can go into to get the equipment they needed. A lot of this equipment was wood. Off the fly, they was creating this. Do you understand how special you are? We are more than gangbangers, than rappers. If I see another rapper, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Especially a rapper with the word baby in the front of their name. I'm tired of the babies. Tired of that. How many rappers can we possibly have? And you know it's something. You know why you know it's something with Esau? Because what is it? The more you have of anything, the less it goes in value, right? But it seems like the rappers never stop getting in value, in like with money. There's so many rappers now, but that's because the white man is taking the rappers and he's saying, look, I'm going to pay you all this money because I want you to lead your people to destruction. But I want my son to be like Henry Blair. I don't want him to be like Michael Jordan. I don't want him to be like LeBron James. I don't want him to be like Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to Kobe. But I don't want them to be like Kobe Bryant. I don't want them to be like, give me a football player. Who? Give me Michael Vick and who else? Odell Beckham. I don't want, especially not them cats. Weirdos. Flaming faggots, as they say. I don't want our people. I want them to be this. Blair was born in Glen Ross, Maryland in 1807. There is scant information regarding his early life or family background. However, Blair appears to have never been enslaved due to his patent eligibility. Enslaved people could not register patents with the United States government. Why? Because they knew how special you were. They knew they just wasn't getting no monkey swinging from trees. They knew that. They knew that was a lie when they showed us on TV. Like we was just out there living wild. I could do a whole separate lesson of us in the dark ages and what we invented. Let alone what we invented when we got over here. You want to say something? Oh. You understand? Our people were brilliant minds. All right? Henry Blair. All right, let's read this. However, Blair appears to have never been enslaved due to his patent eligibility. Enslaved people could not register patents in the United States government, the government that our ignorant people love today. I seen an ignorant YouTube video today. A dude talking about some in America's the greatest country. You can deny the government, you can burn flags, you can do all of this. You go anywhere else, they're gonna kill you. It's not like that everywhere, first of all. But scratch all that. Yes, they're not physically putting us in slavery, but why are they not giving us what we owe? Why are they not telling us what we're accredited to for building? Why are they not teaching our children in schools about these Black and Hispanic inventors? Why is it that when you think of a white man, you think about a scientist? Why is it when you think of a Black man or a Latino man, you either think of a rapper or a drug dealer? That's what we're talking about, the mistreatment and the misidentification. I think the worst thing that's worse than slavery is the misrepresentation of our entire race. Because at least when we was as slaves, we knew we were slaves. We knew we had the mind and the ability to be great, right? I'm not saying we want to go back to that. We don't want to go back to that. But what's worse than giving your people a false realization of freedom? A false identity of freedom. They told you you was free and they gave you crack. And just because you thought you was free, you indulged in that crack. And now you don't want to do nothing but smoke crack all day and not elevate your mind. Right? Not wanting to be a special people. Right? Let's read this. After finding success as a farmer, Blair proved himself a capable inventor. On October 14, 1834, Blair received his patent for his mechanical corn seed planter. Blair's corn planter resembled a wheelbarrow with a chamber fixed to the bottom that disperses the seed. After the seed is dispersed, rakes attached to the back of the wheelbarrow drug over the seed to corn to cover them with soil. So we had it was like a wheel spinning the corn on the ground, and then he had what is it? Hold on. A rake. Yeah, there we go. Yes, a rake attached to the wheelbarrow to drag over the seed to cover the soil. So now all he had to do was watch his invention work. The white man didn't create that. If I would have showed you guys that creation and asked you guys what color man Not even you guys are here because you guys are smart enough to know this is a trick question. A black man. But I'm just saying, if you just go to kids or you just go to anybody on the street, hey, who do you think invented this? What race of person? Everybody gonna say a white man. Not knowing that a brother was responsible for building this invention. Let's get more. All right. Watch this. We ain't even touched the surface yet. All right. So everybody say Benjamin Bradley. Come on, man. We gotta say their names, right? Benjamin Bradley. These were great minds. Now, after we read Benjamin Bradley, we're gonna get 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. All right. But this is Benjamin Bradley. He was born in 1830. They don't know when he died. You know why? Because a lot of our people's records are not known. But Benjamin Bradley, watch this, guys, was the first person to develop a working model of a steam engine for a warship. This man created a steam engine for a ship. Why is this not talked about? How many of y'all knew that? Raise your hand. But we know Lil Wayne, the druggie. It looks like a gremlin now. We know Nicki Minaj. We know all the, right now, we arguing on damn YouTube talking about who's your top 5 rapper. Forget that. Who's your top 5 inventor? We talking about who's your top 5 rapper? Who's your top 5 rapper? Who's your top 5 inventor? Who's your top 5 educator? What this should do in you, when you look at, sometimes I look at myself and you see your veins, right? You say, the same blood as these amazing people are running through my veins. What's stopping me? What's stopping my daughters? What's stopping Precious or Promise? Promise, right? Promise. What's stopping Promise? What's stopping all my young men in here? What's stopping my young sisters in here? Because the only thing that we think that we can be is dancers, right? But what if we change that narrative and told our youth that you can be an inventor? How many young kids you think will want to be inventors? We can do it. We just got to show that on TV. They would never do that. So now it's up to the parents to teach your kids who these people are. You are a chosen, right? Let's read that. Give me that in 1 Peter 2 and 9.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
When are we going to tell our people that they're a chosen generation and a royal priesthood? Chosen. God chose you. God chose you to be a special person. You got these same abilities. That's why I said, when you look at your son, pay attention to how they play with their blocks and their Legos. Look at that. I take pride in my kids. My daughter builds something, I take a picture of it. Nowadays, you know what your parents do? Oh, okay, yeah, you built that. Okay, yeah, go play. No, look at what your baby did. Wow, look at what you did. You invented that. You made that. You created that. You know what white men do with their sons? We might have an inventor on our hands, Maggie. For real. And you know what little Timmy goes and do? Little Timmy says, yeah, I'm an inventor.
Hey, true story, y'all.
Go ahead.
True story, y'all. It's funny Roger said that because that's how Bill Gates became a billionaire. Exactly what he said. His mother and father didn't really understand what he was doing, but nevertheless, they allocated the time and was like, it was Saturdays, you're not going to play Pee-wee's football, you're not going to go swimming, you're going to be in this computer lab from the age 8 to 19. So he started from age 8 to 19. So we just see him becoming a billionaire and creating Microsoft, but he started at age 8. At 19, did you see the progression? Now he's a billionaire and made all his college roommates billionaires too. Because, his parents believed in him, provided that platform. They said, the hell with Pee-wee football, the hell with playing soccer, the hell with all that other stuff that, kids normally do. You're going to be in this computer lab from age 8 to 19.
And you know what? That's so sad to hear, because you know what our sisters say to little Ray Ray? Ooh, look at little Ray Ray. He gonna be bad, just like his daddy. He already know how to hold a gun. And then, cry about, all men, now it's a new thing in the world where toxic masculinity and all men is bad. But when the young boy's a kid and mama raising him, mama be like, ooh, look at my son. He gonna be a player. He gonna be a ladies' man. Who told him that? You didn't say he was gonna be a gentleman. You said he was gonna be a player. Remember that? Y'all remember that video? I might have to pull it up, man. Man, let me pull it up, man. Hold on. Remember that video of the kid? I'm grown.
Yeah, I seen that with the little
I'm grown. Let me show that. I'm gonna put my mic to it so at least y'all can hear it. What, little kid says I'm grown? Let me see.
I ain't playing with you, Kanye. That one.
Yeah. Here it is, right here. Look at this.
You the other girl. You the mama. So, at least I'm a girl. At least I'm a girl. And mama said, I'm grown. I'm a kid.
Y'all hear that?
I'm grown. Stop hitting your chest. You're making a ring. You think you tough?
Y'all should see how he looked right now.
Everybody's on what?
Oh, shit. I know y'all probably can't hear it, but
Yeah. That's too deep, Tony. I was on top of you, so how you gonna tell?
he said, now, y'all probably couldn't hear that, but if you on your own time, you look that clip up, you should see how he looked. He got his pants hanging off his butt.
For your new furniture.
Y'all see
Now
that?
at the Living
I'm
Spaces
grown.
Labor
Y'all
Day.
gotta go, man. Your own time, go look that up. Pretty soon we're gonna have a TV right here, so when we play videos, y'all be able to see. But I had to play that clip, I'm grown. I'm grown. He holding a bottle of, what is that, juice?
Yeah.
He holding a bottle of juice like he drinking a 40. I'm grown. It's the parents. To change the next generation, we got to change the parents, and we got to read more about Benjamin Bradley. Benjamin Bradley was the first person to develop a working model of a steam engine for a warship. Born in Maryland around 1830, Bradley was owned. He was a slave. What is our excuse right now, brothers, sisters? We can't be all that we can be when these people were inventing these things being owned. Right? He was owned by a unidentified slaveholder in Annapolis, Maryland. While living in Annapolis, Bradley worked for a printing company at a young age. At the age of 16, he demonstrated his great skill in mathematical engineering. Mechanical engineering. At 16, he was a mechanical engineer. Nowadays, he's just 16. This man was a mechanical engineer at 15, 16 years old. Do y'all know how hard it is to be a mechanical engineer? How many of you guys can build a car engine from scratch? He's building ship engines. I don't think y'all really understand. You know how big a car engine is? How big is a ship engine? Just so y'all can get the realization of how big of a deal this is, that this 16-year-old boy, so guess what? All the babies that's in here, Parag, Promise, Adele, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can build whatever you build. Makazak, your son, it doesn't matter how old he is. He could be 10 years old and be a mechanical engineer. Who said you got to be a grown-up to be a mechanical engineer? Who said that? Well, no, send him to school. Grades K through 5. After K through 5, 6 through 8, After 6 through 8, then he can start thinking about what he wants to be. 9 through 12. Do we need that? You can be a mechanical engineer at 15 years old. I truly believe that grade school, I'm against grade school. And this is why I'm against grade school. Because grade school limits your capability of growth. Because psychologically in your mind, somebody, a scoffer can say, but we can skip grades. Yeah, but psychologically you tell yourself, I'm only supposed to be in 4th grade. So now don't let me surpass 5th. The normal child is, I'm only supposed to be in 5th grade. I'm supposed to, a 10-year-old, why are you talking to me about mechanical engineering? I'm only 10 years old. What? So you limit your mind.
No, that's powerful what you said, Salakia. That's powerful because when you think about it, Hawashai was sitting among the doctors at 12. Yashala, he was dealing with the top man in Israel at the age of 12. So if we go according to the system we do now, we would say, no, you got to only be around 12-year-olds. 12 and 13-year-olds, no more than that. Yahushai, on the other hand, he was dealing with the top man in Israel to the point where they were astonished like at his knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So we, I agree, man. We kind of limit ourselves when we think about the grade system and how it is. It's like, well, you're 12, so you're going to deal with the 12-year-olds. Nobody older, nobody younger.
That's limitation. You limited your mind. You limit your mind. Say it again on the mic. Did you say, brother?
They dumb us down.
Like,
Even some kids are more further advanced than other kids, but they won't teach them advanced. They still teach them the same thing that the rest of the class, instead of letting them go on and be like, and work their mind more. They just got to sit there and they know all the answers to everything. And they dumb you down. Really.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I don't send my kids to school. I suggest every Black and Latino person homeschool your kid. But with homeschooling your kid, parents, you have to work and teach your child. Parents are lazy. Oh, how many parents I can't wait till I can send these kids back to school. What? You want to get rid of your kids? I love my kids. I don't want them to go to school. But I guarantee if I put my daughter in elementary school, she's way more phenomenal than all those kids in her grade level. I guarantee it. It's just natural because we don't limit them for what they can learn. But it's being proven that if you take a kid from being homeschooled, I'm talking about real homeschool. I'm not talking about you just give them books and send them on the way. I'm talking about really learning, teaching them at an early age. You put them in a regular school with the regular kids, they're going to dumb down to that level of kids. No, we don't believe in dumbing down our kids. Read that in 1 Peter again. Let's get that. 1 Peter 2:9.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praise of him whom hath called you out of darkness into a marvelous light.
See, he's calling us out of darkness to let us know you are a chosen generation. That means you are better than every single person on this planet. I can prove it. Not just with sports, because that's the only thing we go to prove we're better than everybody. Look how high we jump. We jump higher physically. Okay, we know that. We know that. The average Black person is more athletic than an average white person. We know that. The average Black woman is more built and shapely than the average white woman. We know that. But let's forget physicality for a second and let's think mentality. We're better mentally too. We just don't know it yet. We don't know we could be 16 mechanical engineers. But the Bible is going to set us free to tap into that knowledge, right? At the age of 16, he demonstrated his great skill in mechanical engineering. He constructed a model of a steam engine out of 2 pieces of steel. That means he took metal. You know what you do with the blocks, Torah? He took metal and did the metal, steel, as a mock engine. And let me see this. And this was at the age of 16. He constructed a model of a steam engine out of 2 pieces of steel, a gun barrel, and a pewter. I don't know what a pewter is. Maybe somebody can look that up. But he used things that he had, right, to build this. Watch this. Impressed by this feat, his master, look at what that nigga doing. That nigga had an idea. I let that nigga do that. Look at what that nigga's doing. Oh, shoot. We about to be rich. I'm going to show you in the scriptures example of everywhere we go, that nation is on top. Why? Because of our minds. Look at Joseph. Look at Daniel. These are great minds. Let me show y'all something. It says he constructed a model steam engine out of 2 pieces of steel, a gun barrel, and a pewter. Impressed by this feat, his master arranged for Bradley to work at the Department of Natural and Experimental Philosophy at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Bradley became the first African American to hold any but minnow posts at the Naval Academy. Bradley learned, watch this, Bradley learned to read and write at the academy. He couldn't read or write doing this. He couldn't even read or write building like this. So what does that tell you? Did the white man did his master invest in his education? But he still was a builder. At that age, he was inventing things without an education. So that just proves our point. Do you need grade school? No. You don't need it. That is an illusion. Go to school so you can get a good education so that you can learn these things. Why do we need to pay a white man to learn any of this? If we wasn't lazy, we could just go to the YouTube Academy. YouTube would teach you how to change your oil, how to change your car battery. YouTube would teach you how to change a tire. YouTube would teach you how to build an engine. YouTube is a school, it's a university. If you go tap into the right frequency on YouTube, stop watching the twerk videos and type in mechanical engineering and sit there with your son and program his mind to think this is a fun thing me and my dad do. We watch videos on mechanical engineering. That's how you indoctrinate your kid. Because if you don't indoctrinate your kid, somebody else gonna indoctrinate your kid.
Esau for sure gonna do it. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Esau for sure gonna do it.
Esau gonna indoctrinate your kid for you. So you better indoctrinate. It's not right to try to teach your kid what your kid should be able to choose what he wants to be. Tell that to the white man, because all I see is him indoctrinating my kid with TV. What did you say last night? Somebody, Barack, one of y'all said that. I think it was one of you brothers. Barack said it last night when y'all did the live last night. Elementary school, you got a transgender teacher with the rainbow, which belonged to the Most High. They stole it, right? Like I said a long time ago, they need the doo-doo symbol, right? They don't need the rainbow. The rainbow belonged to the Lord. Hashtag taking the rainbow back. But he had the rainbow and had it everywhere and had all type of gay pride all over the school, indoctrinating your kids. So when they tell you you can't indoctrinate your kids, but then they go and indoctrinate your kids. You see your son wearing heels, you better tell him, hell no, that's not what we do. Because you're going to have the world telling him it's okay. And kids' minds are fragile. So you got to be careful what you expose them to. Expose them to Benjamin Bradley. Watch this. So he couldn't read. Bradley learned how to read and write at the academy. In time, he became an assistant who set up experiments for the academy facility. While working at the Naval Academy, he sold his first small steam engine to a midshipman living in Annapolis. This engine was powerful enough to run a small boat. Bradley used this money to expand on his findings and create an even larger model. Imagine how much money his master was getting. A boat engine. Let's get some more. Watch this. Let's get something for the sisters. Just something for the sisters. Now we're moving up to, all right, that was pre-Civil War. All right. So the time frame of all the inventors that I named, that was pre-Civil War. Now we're going to get 1861 to the 1900s, right? Where is she at? Judy W. Reed. This for the sisters. Because sisters, who told you all you good for is shaking your behind? Who told you that? We are a royal priesthood. You are a special nation, my sisters. Watch this. And let's get 2 Samuel 7:23. All right, I'm gonna read this. Little is known about Judy W. Reed, considered to be the first African American woman to receive a United States patent. In January of 1884, Reed applied for a patent on her dough kneader and roller. The application was for an improved design on existing dough kneaders. Reed's device allowed the dough to be mixed more evenly as it progressed through two intermeshed rollers carved with corrugated slats that would act as kneaders. The dough was passed into a covered receptacle to protect the dough from dust and other particles in the air. So she created a machine that, you know how thick dough is, right? To mix the dough evenly and to process the dough, to flatten the dough, to make the dough even mixed and to process it in an evenly fashion without any dirt getting in the dough. A sister did that. It's not just brilliant men of our people. Our women are brilliant too. You're more than just video vixens and Nicki Minaj's. Matter of fact, scratch that. You're not that at all. So I'm gonna stop even saying you're more than. You're not that, sisters. You guys are brilliant minds. Anything that your brain, do you guys understand we have enough brain power? They said it was some scientists. I'm a nerd. I like looking at this stuff. They said one brain, right, has enough brain power to like charge a small city. What are you doing with that brain power? Besides sliding on niggas. Right? What are you doing with that? I mean, we the best at throwing up gang signs. You could be a sign language interpreter. Right? Go ahead. Use the mic. Yeah, use that mic.
Salaki, I believe the scriptures say it's a terrible thing for a mind to go to waste, I believe.
It's a terrible thing for your mind to be destroyed, yeah. Like I said, we got brothers. Man, y'all see them YouTube videos of them brothers throwing up? They throwing up? My God. Throwing it up, they know it. I'm like, what's stopping that man right now from learning sign language? Because that's sign language. They just whacked out everybody and their mama in sign language. Why you can't apply that same energy? You know how much money sign language interpreters make? Can we look that up for a second? How much? We talk about we broke, we gotta go get this money, right? Selling drugs. When you could be a sign language interpreter, you can make how much? Somebody give me how much they make. Oh wait. All you gangbangers out there, pay attention to the money you could be making.
50,000 to 120,000.
50,000 to 120 a year. 50,000 to 100 and 50,000 is good money. Half of us in here probably don't make 50,000 alone. To 100,000, and it'll come easy to the gangbanger because they know how to already. Oh yeah, cuz I already know my fingers like that, cuz yeah. Well, our people need a new avenue, right? Says all right. On September 23rd, 1884, Reed received patent number 305,474 for her invention. There is no record of her life beyond this document. That's sad. The greatest thing they did was destroy a lot of our history. Let's read that. Did I tell you to get 2 Samuel 7:23? Read that for me. Oh, no. Go ahead.
2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel, whom God went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name.
Who is like Israel? We create these inventions in slavery. We're not in an air-conditioned room with a whole bunch of resources. Watch this. Alexander P. Ashbourne, born 1820. Let's say Alexander P. Ashbourne. Let's say that. Yes, let's say it together. Alexander P. Ashbourne. And let's say Judy W. Reed. Let's see what this dude created, right? Alexander P. Ashbourne was an early inventor. He was born into slavery in Philadelphia around 1820. There are very few documented facts about his personal life. He grew up cutting wheat alongside his family members. In his youth, Ashbourne began to think of more efficient ways to cut wheat. So he didn't do this because he wanted to be rich. He's like, man, it gotta be an easier way to cut this wheat. He's like, I don't know how much more I'm gonna have to cook. Hey, master, it gotta be some way to cut this wheat better than what we doing. I gotta make it easier. He wanted to invent this because he was tired of working in the field. He was like, it gotta be a better way, right? Mainly to make harvesting easier for himself and other enslaved people. A lot of inventions started because we was tired of working manual hard labor. White man wasn't doing nothing but sitting in the big house. We were the ones like, look guys, we gotta figure something out. How can we cut this wheat easier? Watch this. He approached his owner with these ideas, but they refused to adopt them. What can a nigga tell me? Get out of here, nigga. Master, please. It's a better way to cut this wheat. Can you please listen to me? Nigga boy, get out of my face. Right? But watch this. Since Ashbourne was born after the Pennsylvania Gradual Abolish Act was passed in 1780, he was not subject to a lifetime of enslavement. Although the exact date of his emancipation is unknown, by 1847, all enslaved people in Pennsylvania had been freed. Ashbourne disappeared from public record. That's so sad. Can you imagine not having a public record? He disappeared from public record until 1863, when he reemerged working as a caterer. By this time, he was well known and respected in the city. He catered weddings and buffets of the wealthy elite in Philadelphia, and was selected as one of a handful of local caterers for the 1863 emancipation celebration held in the city. While attending this event, Ashbourne noticed that the biscuits were simple, hand patted and lacked any real form. All right, simply hand patted and lacked any real form. He began a decade-long process to create a device, right, a spring-loaded biscuit cutter that would guarantee a uniform shape and size. Ashbourne applied for a patent of his invention on May 11th, 1875, and on November 20th, 1876, he was granted patent number 160,450. His patent cutter had a board to load and unload biscuits easily. There were also metal plates with various shapes. The cook could push down on the plate to cut the dough into specialized shapes. So y'all know when y'all have, who makes cookies or who likes to bake? All right, sisters know how to bake, or brothers ever seen your grandmother baking? You guys know that the little shaped pan that you can put on the cookies to make the shape? He created that. That's his invention. An invention that I grew up seeing. You know, when you have the star shape, you can put it in the dough. You have the heart shape, you can put it in the dough. A black man created that. And he created it just like, I'm tired of this simple dough, simple cookies, simple baking patterns. Let's create something to where we can make a bake pattern out of a star shape. A black man created that. So when you like to bake and you use those things, me and my wife, we be watching the show Bake Off. You know, it's a show called Bake Off, and all these people be baking and they use the little design to make the cookies into the shape. A black man created that. Brother created that. And not to mention, a brother was a baker. So brothers, you guys can be bakers. Okay? That misconception, only women bake. No, men bake too, brothers, all right? It's all good. Watch this. Let's go to hold that. I'm gonna hold this next one. Go to 1 Chronicles. Was that all the 2 Samuel? Okay, go to 1 Chronicles 17 and 20. You want to ask something?
Nah.
Okay. Oh yeah, Elijah McCoy. I gotta get him. Anybody ever heard of Elijah McCoy? You heard of him, Makazai? Elijah McCoy. That's where that term, who's ever heard of the term, the real deal McCoy? It comes from his name. It comes from him. So he's the real deal McCoy. It comes from this brother. We're going to read why it comes from this brother. Go ahead and read that. 1 Chronicles 17:20.
1 Chronicles chapter 17 to verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
O Lord, there is none like thee, neither is there any God beside thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears.
Mm-hmm.
For what one nation in the earth is like thy people Israel?
What nation is like the nation of Israel? Nowadays, it's a stigma. We can't even sit still long enough to get educated. But back in the day, we was inventors. So that means that false representation of our people is wrong. We're learners. We can learn. We can educate ourselves and create these same inventions. We can do that all still today in 2021. All that it takes is a group of brothers that's in this room, a group of sisters that's in this room. And if y'all want to change that narrative, it starts with us teaching these little babies in this room. Teach these babies to be better than what the media tells them they are. Teach them how to be the real deal McCoy. Elijah McCoy, one of the two most prolific black inventors of the 19th century, was born on May 2nd, 1843 in Colchester, Ontario, Canada, to runaway slave parents who used the Underground Railroad to escape. Once the McCoy family settled in Canada, they were extremely poor. I don't want to hear no excuse. We're poor. Oh, we don't. No, stop making excuses. We know Esau's a devil. We know he doesn't care about us. We know he wants to kill us. What are we going to do about it now? It's time for action. We not worried about marching. We not worried about trying to get equal. Forget equal anything in this country. Right? What they've given us, let's take that time and let's start to educate ourselves together on our own. This is what we're doing here. Do you guys know what we're doing in this building right here? We are literally building a nation. I do not want you guys thinking to come to this school and we just come here. Oh, well, I'm just going to class. No, this is a nation. This building is an opportunity to start schools for the kids. My wife has her own daycare. What's stopping her from making this building a daycare? During the week. And how these kids learn. I'm talking about real learning though. Right? I'm talking about really learning, really building. What's stopping this school from being a place of rehabilitation for lost boys, right? Lost young girls. This is what this place is supposed to be. A place for rehabilitation. It's just not a simple Hebrew school. This is a place where we can expand ourselves. Imagine what our minds can accomplish if we all came together, brothers, sisters. What can we accomplish? Imagine us creating more schools teaching this same thing in different states all around America. I gotta think big. What's stopping us from doing any of these things? Nothing but you. You stop yourself. What's stopping us from being a great nation right now? Yeah, we might not have 50,000 people, but guess what? The 20, 40, or 30 people that's in this room, we're a nation. We're a nation 30 deep. How are you going to define your nation? And it starts within these walls. Educate ourselves, right? It says, watch this. Once McCoy family settled in Canada, they were extremely poor. Nonetheless, they saved money for their son to get an education. When McCoy was 15 years old, he was sent to a boarding school in Edinburgh, Scotland, to study mechanical engineering. Now we got another 15-year-old doing mechanical engineering. Once he returned to the United States, McCoy had a difficult time in finding a job because his race, despite his numerous credentials, he eventually settled for a minimal job as a fireman for the Michigan Central Railroad, oiling and various working parts of the train. So he started working on trains. These tasks were slow and boring for the certified mechanical engineer, who began to wonder why the moving parts of the train couldn't oil themselves. They had to, can you imagine having a big train and you got to oil it manually? So now when you see the train, y'all know the oil on the train, it oils itself. It came from this man right here. This brother right here is responsible for every train system that utilizes oil to make the gears not stiff. This man is responsible for that. It says, from this, he became interested in the challenges of self-lubrication for mechanics and began to test various ideas for automatic lubrication. What happened to when we love to challenge ourselves mentally? Nowadays, we don't like thinking too hard. But we have to be reminded of the people that we are. The Elijah McCoy Manufacturing Company opened in 1870 in Detroit. On July 2nd, 1872, McCoy had his first patent granted invention, the lubricator cup. This device dropped continuous amounts of oil onto the moving parts of the machine. The lubricator cup saved companies from losing time and money and frequently stopping machines to have them manually oiled. So back in the day, the old trains, you had to stop them, oil the gears and oil all of that manually. Now they can just keep going. That means all the product that they shipping, they don't gotta stop. They can just keep going. It says, the lubricator cup saved companies from losing time and money and frequently stopping machines to have them manually oiled. This invention also earned McCoy worldwide recognition and created a new phrase, real McCoy, to describe an instrument or process that is flawless in quality and performance. McCoy refined his invention over the next 25 years, receiving 26 patents between 1872 and 1891 for updating and modifying the lubricator cup or other inventions. Who told you you was nothing but a nigga? Who told you you was nothing but a bitch? Who told you you was nothing but a harlot, a hoe? Who told you you was nothing but a gangbanger? Who told you that? I'm telling you, you could be the real deal McCoy. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that you're an Israelite, Deuteronomy 7:6, a chosen nation, and it's proven through history you're that nation. What other nation with the lack of resources can build the things that we build in this country? Name me one. That's why I be looking at these framers at my job, looking at these masons at my job. Mason meaning brick builders, because you're gonna have some ignorant person. Oh, they said Mason. They're gonna make a whole video. Oh, Russell Tom's a Mason. No, Mason meaning brick builder, brothers. Why these brothers can't say, man, to hell with, I'm working at LAX right now. To hell with LAX. We not building this no more. We gonna go build whatever we want to build together. Fear and ignorance is keeping them from doing that. Because it's a dog-eat-dog world, and each of these framers that I work with, they don't give a damn about the next man they work next to. They just care about that little easy $20 they get, $20 an hour they get. Some of them not even getting that. Some of them getting minimum wage for being framers. You ain't paying me no $15 an hour to be a framer, dog. Please. But if it was enough of us to have the mind to say, to hell with working for you, you need me because I'm the great mind that's building this. The job site I work on has 1,600 workers, and 75% of them are Israelites. Why are y'all working? And then you got the big white man that comes to the job site in his nice old spaceship, hop out walking on the job site like he the slave master. He don't even gotta wear a safety vest on the job. He can wear whatever he wants. He walking through there looking like, making sure you niggas stay on task. Making sure you wetback stay on task. But imagine, if we can do the math, what's 70? I don't know, I'm not a mathematician, right? If you can do the math on 70% of 1,600? 75%. Somebody get a calculator. 75% of 1,600? What's that?
1,200.
That's 1,200 people that can walk off that job and say, to hell with this. So let's subtract or let's add. How many workers are left? 400. Only 400.
They don't get it.
They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. Let's get a couple more, man. Let's get another sister. Where's this sister at? Linda Newman. Okay, let's everybody. Can we say their names again? Can we say Elijah McCoy?
Elijah McCoy.
All right. Can we say Linda Newman?
Linda Newman.
Okay. She was born in 1885. Inventor and women's rights advocate Linda Newman is best known for a newly designed hairbrush patent and her effort to fight for women's rights, particularly women's suffrage. Newman was born in 1885 to a steel worker and a housewife in Ohio. Little is known about her childhood. Her parents wanted her to gain new experiences and have an opportunity for a better life. So they supported her move to New York City, although the date of that move is unknown. Newman's hairbrush was patented in 1898 when she was 13 years old. She invented a hairbrush. This is a special hairbrush. We're going to talk about why it's special, because this hairbrush is what every sister uses today. She invented this hairbrush specifically for so-called Negro women hair. At 13 years old. How old are you, sis? You're 15. She's younger than you. Y'all understand that? How old are you out? Yeah. You 20. So she was a year older than my aunt right here, my young aunt. 13 years old, she invented a hairbrush, but let's read about this. Newman's design was specifically made for African American hair and had synthetic bristles instead of animal hair. So all the brushes that y'all have with the synthetic bristles, guess who is credited for that? Newman was. Linda Newman was. It says the synthetic bristles were firmer, lasted longer, and did not break as easily when used on thick hair. The synthetic bristles could be moved further apart and combed through hair easier, and they could be detached and reattached very quickly, which improved efficiency. So her particular synthetic, so y'all know the brush where you can, sisters, it's similar to the, the brush you can push down and push up. I don't know what the brush is called, but it's a brush that has the bristles, right? And you can kind of, I don't know what the brush is called, but the sisters know if I had a picture of it, the sisters would know. The bristles are spread out. It kind of like got like the balls at the end of the brush. You know what I'm talking about? That brush. Or just to make it plain, any brush with synthetic hair, she is accredited for doing that. Everybody know the brush that I'm talking about, the brush that always got the hair in it that your mama used to use? That brush. Stop moving, girl. That brush, a sister made that. Right? It says, hairdressers could now take the bristles out and have a new brush much quicker than cleaning the entire brush between clients. Additionally, there was a compartment in the brush that debris such as dandruff and dirt will fall into and could easily be removed for cleaning. All right, let's read. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4 and 6. And when you got that, read that. Yeah. God.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
All we need is the commandments, and guess what? Imagine how great of a people we'll be if we kept the commandments. Our brothers and sisters were doing this in slavery. Imagine you doing this with the commandments. Imagine a nation of inventors like this with order and structure and law. That's scary. Imagine a righteous country with laws and brilliant minds and 15 mechanical engineers, but with the Most High behind it. Now you understand why the priest was able to build the temple the way they built it. Go look at how beautiful the temple was built. Most High had that done because look how great we were. Why do you think the other nations went into the temple to steal everything? Imagine this menorah. made of pure gold and 5 foot tall. We ain't talking about this little. We're talking about pure gold and 5 foot tall. And made with precision with 7 branches. Solid gold. You know what that means, right? That means that they had to somehow find a way to melt down the gold. And they had to have a system to put the gold in. Yeah, exactly. That's a good illustration. After class, everybody should. I wish I had my book too, because I have a book with the menorah in it, how big it was. Solid gold. Now you know why the heathens. That's a good illustration. Now you know why the brother got that. Now you know why the heathens was running up in the temple trying to get the menorah, trying to get all the things. Imagine a gold box. We're not talking about a small gold box. We're talking about a pretty large size gold box to where you needed multiple men to carry it. That's the Ark of the Covenant. But y'all thought the Ark of the Covenant was just in a wood box? It was solid gold. With gold cherubims on top of it, with the wings touching each other's wings. How do you sculpt something like that? Pure gold. But we're not talking about sculpting it with so-called modern technology. We're talking about ancient. Egyptians wasn't the only one special. Damn, black people. Stop thinking Egypt is the only special thing. The Jews built some good things too. Understand? Watch this. Let's read. We got like 2 more and that's it. Garrett A. Morgan. Let's say Garrett A. Morgan Sr. Can everybody say that?
Garrett A. Morgan Sr.
Yep, he was born 1877, died 1963. Inventor, entrepreneur, and publisher Garrett A. Morgan Sr. received patents for a 3-position traffic signal and a safety hood that was designed to aid breathing in smoke-filled areas. That traffic light, who invented that? The gas mask, who invented that? Garrett A. Morgan. Who gets credit for it? A white man, because when you think of a traffic light, you don't think a black man invented that. Red light, green light, yellow light. Garrett A. Morgan. He did that. Man, it's so much more. I can be here all day just reading out black inventors to you guys. Watch this. Garrett Augusta Morgan was born in 1875 or 1877 in Paris, Kentucky, to farmers Sidney and Elizabeth Morgan. Garrett received an elementary school education. He only had an elementary school education. So what does grade school actually mean? Can I be real? Shit. That was a trick. They tricked you to think that you couldn't have an education unless you learned in their schools. That is a lie. This man had an elementary school education inventing gas masks. Watch this. He received an elementary school education and left home at the age of 14. He left home at the age of 14. He was a grown man at 14 years old. Some of us don't even know how to ride a bike at 14. And that's pun intended, right? Meaning that we're kids, we're babies at 14. Babies at 14. Nowadays, 14-year-old boy, Mom, I wanted the Jordans. Why I couldn't get the Jordans? They having attitudes. 14-year-old boys acting like little girls. They got attitudes. Acting like little babies. Attitudes. This man was 14 years old on his own. Watch this. It says, Finding education, left home at the age of 14. Finding work in Connecticut, Ohio, as a mechanic in 1895, he moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he worked for 12 years repairing sewing machines, and in 1901 invented a sewing machine belt fastener. Sisters, black men, help y'all sew today. In 1907, Morgan established his first business, a sewing machine sales and repair shop. He soon expanded with a tailoring business, and later the Morgan skirt factory that employed more than 30 people. His second major discovery came while exploring a way to reduce friction between sewing needles and wooden fabric. He found that a chemical solution he developed to straighten the woolen fibers, woolen fabric, the woolen fibers of textile also straightened hair. So he created stuff for fabrics as well as creating hair products. He formed a G.A. Morgan hair refining cream company that sold a line of hair care products. He was a mechanic, a hair product maker, a sewer, right? During the same period, Morgan worked on other projects, including a breathing device that will protect firefighters against smoke inhalation. Every firefighter needs to thank a black man. So-called black man, really an Israelite man. Can you imagine if we was a nation of people and all these inventions that we invented was just in our society? The nations were blind. Oh, we need that. Please sell it to us. How much power, how much economic power would our nation have? They will cleave what?
They will cleave.
Say it on the mic. Gotta say that on the mic.
They will cleave to us.
Exactly. Watch this. Let me see. Where was I at? I gotta finish this off. All right. Okay. In 1914, he received a patent for the Morgan safety hood and formed the National Safety Device Company. This man had, with an elementary school grade level, this man had like multiple companies doing multiple things. Generating interest in his invention through demonstration at public safety exhibits, it was used most notably on July 25, 1916, when he was asked to help rescue Cleveland water worker miners trapped in the tunnel beneath Lake Erie. Morgan and his brother Frank, along with other volunteers, used the safety mask to descend into the tunnel and rescue 7 survivors. So not only did he invent this device, he went and got them. This man was a hero. Why we don't want to be like this man? Why we want to be like Lil Wayne? Why we don't want to be like Garrett Morgan? You know how fearless you gotta be? Power, brothers, sisters. Right? Let's get Genesis 41 and 38, and then we're gonna read this last one. All right, hold that when you got it. Let me see. Here she is, right here. Get one more sister. All right. This is Mary Beatrice. Can everybody say Mary? Mary Kenner. But I think her mother's name was Mary Davis Kenner. Mary Beatrice Davis Kenner. But can we say Mary Kenner?
Mary Kenner.
Mary Beatrice Davis Kenner is an inventor of numerous products we use today and has the most patents of any African American woman. Kenner was born on May 17, 1912 in Monroe, North Carolina. Her father was an inventor, Sidney Nathal Davidson, and her mother is unknown to the public records. She has one sibling, her sister, Mildred Davidson Austin Smith. Kenner patented multiple inventions in her 40s. However, she began inventing at the age 6. So I told you, Karak, you can invent whenever you want. She was inventing at the age 6. 6 years old, she was creating things at 6. Because her father was an inventor. So naturally, she looked at her father and was like, Dad, I want to invent some things too at 6. Indoctrinate your kids. Don't let the world indoctrinate them. When she attempted to invent a self-oiling door hinge at 6. Invention ran in the family. Her maternal grandfather, Robert, Farmingbergs, I believe, I might be saying that wrong. Most notable invention was a tricolor lighter signal for trains and a stretcher with wheels for ambulances. So the stretcher that you guys see with wheels was created by a black man. Because back in the day, they was carrying them. Black brother Israelite said, put wheels on that. Y'all don't understand how deep that is, man. Little things that we take for granted today was invented by Israelites. Where was I at? Okay. In 1980, hold on. In 1914, her father patented a clothes presser that could fit in a suitcase. Press your clothes out. What's that again, brother?
Sound like an iron.
Sound like an iron. Some brothers need to iron. Because a black man did that. Right? Suitcase size. You can carry it anywhere, so you can quickly iron when you need it to. In 1980, her sister invented family tradition, a family board game. Okay, so everybody was invented. They was inventing games, all type of things. Watch this. Mary Kenner had many ideas as a child. This is why I tell the kids, your ideas that you guys have, when your children come to you, when my daughter comes to me, she say, Daddy, look what I created. Invest in that. Invest in that. When your kids tell you, look what I made. Daddy, I'm doing something. No. What you make, son? Let me see. Invest in your kids. Love on them. Whatever they want to be, invest in that. For righteousness, of course. The kids are the future. And you guys, as the adults, it's up to us to shape the future the way we want it to be. This is the last thing, we're going to get out of here. She walked in the halls of the, where was I at? Okay. Mary Kenner had many ideas as a child, including a convertible roof that would go over the folding rumble seat of the car. Got my top row back. Israelite women. Watch this. A sponge tip at the end of an umbrella that would soak up rainwater. And a portable ashtray that will attach itself to a cigarette pack. When her family moved to Washington, D.C. in 1924, she walked the halls of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to become familiar with the building and the patent process. She didn't even have no business doing it. She just walked the halls just on her own time. That's how dedicated she was to know she was going to be. She knew at the age 6, I'm going to be an inventor, and I'm going to get familiar with this patent office, even though I don't work here. Because when I invent, I'm going to make sure this place is. That's why whatever you want to be, surround yourself with that. That's what she did. In 1931, Kenner graduated from Dunbar High School and started attending Howard University, but dropped out after a year and a half for financial reasons. She then took multiple odd jobs, and in 1941, she became a federal employee, remaining there during the rest of the decade. In 1950, she became a professional florist and ran her flower shop in the 1970s while inventing things in her spare time. She invented things for fun. Same things you do, Para, she did that for fun, invented things. Just for fun. It says Kenner's first patent was in 1957 for the sanitary belt. While she originally invented the sanitary belt in the 1920s, she couldn't afford a patent. Over time, she improved her early invention and other inventions that were patented before hers. The sanitary belt aimed to prevent the leakage of menstrual blood on clothing. Do you guys know what she created? Pads for women. Watch this. Which was a common problem for women at the time. Sisters, who's responsible for your womanly products? A sister. The Sonap Pat Company got word of this invention in 1957 and contacted her, intending to market her invention. However, when they discovered that she was black, they declined. See these devils? Can't give a nigga wench credit for inventing something of use. Beltless pads were provided in the 1970s, and as tampons became more popular, women stopped using sanitary belts. In 1976, Kenner patented an attachment for a walker or wheelchair that included a hard surface tray and a soft pockets for carrying items. She and her sister invented a toilet paper holder they patented in 1982. Her final patent, granted on September 29, 1987, was for a mounted back washer and massager. See that? Inventing things. Sisters inventing things. Read this scripture, Genesis 41 and 38. It's so much more I can go into, brothers and sisters, but for the sake of time, we'll end it right there. For the sake of time. But go ahead, I'll read that real quick.
Genesis chapter 41 to verse 38.
Uh-huh.
And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?
Can we find anybody? This is talking about Joseph. Joseph was so wise. It was like, man, the Spirit of God is on this person. You guys all had that same ability to be so wise in this world. They got to look at you and say, God has to be with you. With that, we're going to go ahead and end class. All praise to the Most High. Forgive us, family. We got our new school. All praises. We're going to work out the kinks, break the school in. Class will be at 4:30, brothers and sisters. 4:30. All right. We're in California, so however many hours we're ahead, classes will start at 4:30 from here on out. You guys tap in. We thank you guys all online. We wouldn't be able to do this. Give a hand clap to everybody, the family online. We wouldn't be able to do this without the family online. And give yourselves a hand clap as well for the congregation. We wouldn't be able to do this without each other, right? We love you guys. And until next time, we'll see you next Sabbath, 4:30 our time. And we love you, family. You have a blessed Sabbath. Thank you guys for everything. Shalom.